Let's bring in another guy that needs no app and needs no introduction, GOP Senator Lindsey Graham, chairman of the Judiciary Committee. Senator, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know it's a busy day for you. You're out on the trail. Want to get your take on the race. I'm here in Minnesota, Senator.
I got a bus.
You got a bus with your face on it, too. I mean, that's not too bad.
Only in America can this happen. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I want to hear what you're hearing from voters, because I was at the Trump. We hear a lot about fear. We hear a lot about doom and gloom. But when I was at the Trump rally last night, you've been to a bunch of them, it was all about love and patriotism and celebration. What's the mood you're seeing from voters?
Well, I'm in Florence, South Carolina. Thank you for having me on. I hear a combination of fear and excitement. If we lose the House, the Senate, and the White House, people are scared to death that we lose the country that we grew up in. They're going to pack the Supreme Court to make it full of liberals by go to 9 to some other number. They'll do away with the legislative filibuster, so everything coming out of the House goes to the Senate. They're going to change the Electoral College because New York and California will begin picking the president, and South Carolina will be left out. They're going to go to open borders, not secure borders, give illegal immigrants free health care. They're going to have a $4.5 trillion tax increase to destroy our economy. That's the downside. Here's the good side. 4 more years of Donald Trump means 4 more years of conservative judges, 4 more years of the tax code being in the hands of people who understand how to run a business, 4 more years of a commander-in-chief that knows what the hell he's doing. So people are afraid and they're excited.
Senator, let's take a look at the balance of power right now in the Senate. It's, of course, 53 Republicans, 47 Democrats. The House, 232 Democrats, 197 Republicans. Now, you're in a tight race in South Carolina against Jamie Harrison. In fact, I think it has been now marked as a toss-up.
Yeah.
If the Senate goes to the Democrats and perhaps the presidency as well, you named a ton of issues right there that can be expected. Senator Kamala Harris has said issue number 1, priority, doing away with tax cuts. What do you think? Packing the court? What is the first thing they do?
Well, I think they do away with the tax cuts. The economy is growing at 33%. If you want to throw a wet blanket on this economy, we're going to get through the COVID. We'll find a vaccine. But then what? You'll have a Supreme Court full of liberals. They'll change the number from 9 to 13 or restructure the court to make it liberal. They're going to do away with the legislative filibuster. They're going to make D.C. a state with the same standing as South Carolina. The most important thing is everything President Trump has done to secure our border, work with Mexico, they're going to undo. They're going to have illegal immigrants getting free health care. Half the world will be here. They'll get back into the Iranian nuclear agreement, which is a disaster for us and Israel. Other than those few things, it won't matter. We're not going to let that happen. We're going to win. We're going to keep the Senate. My opponent is raising $130 million from every liberal in the country who hates my guts because I stood up for Judge Kavanaugh. I got Judge Barrett through the Judiciary Committee, and I've been an ally of President Trump. They're trying to take me out. I need your help, lindseygraham.com. We're going to win in South Carolina. We're going to keep the Senate, and we're going to give President Trump 4 more years and change the country in a way you'll be proud of. That's what's at stake, lindseygraham.com.
Yeah, definitely one of the amount of spending in the state of South Carolina has been unprecedented. But speaking of spending from foreign countries, we've learned a lot about Hunter Biden and his associates and Joe Biden. You know, after what happened in 2016, Senator, to the president, and there were calls for accountability for what happened to him, do we believe there will ever be any accountability for Hunter Biden, regardless of the result here?
So in 2020, we live in an America with a free press. That's an irresponsible, biased press. Free requires responsibility. Can you imagine if this story was about a Trump family member going around the world with a vacuum cleaner, raking in money to have influence with President Trump? It'd be front page news everywhere. Hunter Biden and his associates were trading off Joe Biden's name as vice president. They were making millions of dollars all over the world, which I think would compromise a Biden presidency, and nobody gives a damn about it. You can't find it anywhere in the mainstream news. This is a conspiracy to shut down one of the biggest influence peddling schemes in the history of the United States, and it just breaks my heart that the media has fallen this low. They're so in the tank for Joe Biden that they will ignore a story that should not be ignored, and if a Republican were doing this, it would be front page news. But let me tell you what, there's other ways to get your news regarding other than the mainstream media, like Fox, like the internet. This story is going to resonate. It is corruption run amok, and it's going to matter come Tuesday.
Senator, not to interrupt, I wanted to ask you, though, because you're mentioning there's other ways to get news, and the larger story here became about big tech and information suppression, and people feeling like, you know, Twitter and Facebook and these places they go to is just supposed to be a hub of impartial information, and now suddenly things are being shut down, and these people are being treated like children, essentially, being told, oh, you don't need to read that over there. How much of an issue is that in this election, and is that really on voters' minds as they head into the voting booths?
Well, it should be. I think it's the biggest threat to conservatism is the social media companies censoring information that conservatives put out. The New York Post is the fourth largest paper in the world. Listen to this. The Department of Homeland Security sent out a tweet about walls will protect the country from gangs and drugs and child trafficking. They censored his tweet, but they allow the Ayatollah, under the theory of saber rattling, talking about destroying the state of Israel. In Twitter's world, DHS is more harmful to the world than the Ayatollah of Iran. This is ridiculous. This censorship's got to come to an end. And how do you bring it to an end? Eliminate Section 230 so you can sue these people if they suppress your content. Take their liability protections away. They're the only people in America you can't sue when they wrong you, and that's going to change.
Senator Graham, thanks for joining us today. Tough race for you ahead and an exciting few days. We look forward to watching.
Thank you, Senator.
Instagram.com. Get it over the line, baby. We're going to win. Thank you.